Dear students, I am Maniyandan, so head of the Department of Mathematics, Dr. S.N.S. Rajalakshmi College of Arts and Science. So in this section, we are going to discuss about classical mechanics. Basic concepts we are going to discuss now. Survey of elementary principle. Initially, first we take what is mechanics. So mechanics is a branch of the applied mathematics. It deals with the motion of the forces on the rigid bodies and objects. Usually, so it represents the particles are moving in some direction. The particles are composed of rigid bodies. Now, the study of the motion of the forces acting on the rigid bodies are considered as the mechanics. Now here it is also discussed as a branch of the physical science. Here the motion of the forces and their effects on the objects are discussed. Now usually, so it has an origin from mechanikos, an engineer Greece. So the word mechanics was derived from the Greek word mechanikos. One more definition are here the classical. Next we discuss about the classical mechanics. The classical mechanics is the study of the motion of the bodies, including the spatial case in which bodies remain at rest in accordance with the general principles first enunciated by Sir Isaac Newton in his philosophy Naturalis Principia Mathematica, commonly known as the Principia. So now in our we directly come into the section. What is the definition of constraints? The constraints are nothing but conditions which restricts the motion of the system. That is called, we call it as constraints. Usually when the particles are moving with respect to around a circle, the particle motion will not exceed the beyond the radius of the circle. So they are constrained to move within the circle, and also the gas molecules are restricted to move inside the spherical container. So when the conditions are imposed, then these are all called the constraints. One such example we are given here. The gas molecules within a container are constrained by the walls of the vessel to move inside the container. Now, the constraints are classified into two categories: holonomic constraints and integral constraints, and non-holonomic constraints. Naturally, the holonomic constraints are of the form equation format f of r1 r2 r3 rn comma t equal to 0, where r1 r2 r3 rn represents the position vector the position vector of the generalized coordinates, and the t represents the time. Example, modulus of Ri minus Rj whole square equal to Cij square. This represents the distance between the any two particles in the n-dimensional system. So we find the distance between the square of the absolute distance between the two coordinates Ri and Rj, and it will be equivalent to Cij square. So this is one such a condition. When the constraints are expressed in terms of equation form, we call it as holonomic constraints. Another example is x square plus y square equal to a square. And next we discuss about non-holonomic constraints. So when the constraints are not expressible in the equation format, and that is in the form of inequalities, then we call it as non-holonomic constraints. Now here they are also called as integrable differentials. R square minus a square is greater than 0. Here greater than 0 inequality comes here, and also x square plus y square plus z square less than r square. These are all the examples of the non-holonomic constraints. Now further types of constraints are classified into two categories: scleromatous constraints, Rehan-Amos constraints. In the case of scleromatous constraints, the times are independent. That is, the system does not depend on the time t. Then in such a call, the constraints are called as Reynolds constraints. And here one such example we are given here, and the pendulum with the inextensible string of length. We are considering inextensible strength pendulum moving under the inextensible string of length. Here the length is L naught represented. Here x square plus y square equal to L naught square. And Reynolds constraints example, they are all time dependent. The pendulum with the extensible strength of length L naught we are considering here. Here the length is a function of the time t, x square plus y square equal to L naught square of t. Next we derive the important concept D'Alembert's principle. Now John Ronald D'Alembert, French physicist mathematician, gave the D'Alembert's principle. Now here the main focus is on, we are considering the Newton's second law of motion, Fi minus Pi dot equal to 0. So Pi dot is nothing but force, mass into acceleration, Fi equal to ma. Now in this case, first initially the D'Alembert's statement states that summation I equal to 1 to capital N, Fi minus Pi dot delta Ri equal to 0. Here Fi represents the force constraint or force of the ith particle, and Pi dot represents the generalized moment of the ith particle. Delta Ri represents the virtual displacement of the coordinate of the particle Ri. So now here we are considering the n generalized coordinate system. So therefore we are taking for one particle, we find the value of Fi minus Pi dot, and we multiply with the corresponding virtual displacement delta Ri, then that value we add it, and similarly we are finding for the all the particles of the system, and we equate it to 0. This is the equation of the Newton's law. This is the equation. Here further the force Fi is classified into two constraints. The force is due to external forces and also constraint forces. The external forces are represented by Fie, and the constraint forces are represented by small fi. And the capital Fi is classified into two categories, sum of the Fie plus Fi minus Pi dot delta Ri equal to 0. Now we split into two parts, Fi minus Pi dot delta Ri plus Fi dot delta Ri equal to 0. Now the in the case of holonomic constraints, we consider the forces due to the forces, the work done due to the constraint forces are 0. So therefore Fi dot delta Ri equal to separately 0. Now virtual work done by the forces of constraints is equivalent to 0 here. So therefore the second part in the previous equation will get cancelled. So therefore finally we get summation I equal to n Fi minus Pi dot delta Ri equal to 0. This is, we call it as D'Alembert's principle. Thank you.